times. Okay, we're back. I'm talking with His Honor, the Mayor of Wenatchee, Mike Poirier, and appreciate your service. I know that it's been a challenge. Okay, so all right, I know we talked about the homeless thing. Let's move on a little bit. How about other issues that the city's facing, like drug use, that kind of thing, or what kind of? We have a new police chief.
We have a new police.
I really like.
Yeah.
Edgar's a good cop.
Yep.
Work with him. Good guy.
Chief Reinfeld. He has quite a few years' experience, which makes it nice, and a local boy, and he understands about our community, and he's incredible. And there's already some shift in it. We're actually getting more people that want to be police officers. It's a changing of It's a change in excitement. So sometimes when I talk to a new police officer, their significant other, spouse, friend, or whatever, and you're the police officer, I says, my job's not to get you any more money. I don't care if you get another dime.
Right.
What my goal is, now you will get money because that's the way it works. My goal is to be able to get you some time off because they work so many extra hours because we're not full with police officers. If I can get some more police officers, then you get to go home to see your kid's birthday party.
Right.
And to me, that's a value. So what I'm saying is it's the people that's a value. And that's important from all ranks in the police department. They understand that. And our city council supports our police department and our community. You know what? To be a police officer here is unbelievable. I'm going to say 90% of the people in our community believe. How would you like to live in Seattle?
Yeah.
I hate to put down another city, but they're
go right ahead.
They're down 40% at one time. 40% of the police officers. We get people from there wanting to come over here, and we get to pick and choose. We got a little bit more because it's a better community, and that's thank goodness. Thank goodness we live here.
Yeah, and every time I talk with the cops, they say the same thing. A lot of support from the community. A lot of support. And I used to say, there was a small section at the top of society and a small section at the bottom of society that didn't like cops. Everybody in the middle, including some of the bad guys, liked the cops very much. Yeah. So now you're probably looking and going, oh, Magnotti is full of crap. But yeah, I am. This doesn't mean it's not true.
But that doesn't mean it's not. This one, he might not be full of crap. We got police chief. There's going to be movement within the department of ranks to fill some of those ranks, and we're doing recruiting and going to a military base, and from people that are exiting and see qualifications there. So we actually, I believe, will be. I think it takes, because you only can bring in so many people for training through the academy, and as you know, through the time. But we're down, I believe, about 9 officers. And we will have that, I believe, within 2.5 years of full officers.
We should get back up to speed.
Yep. Okay, and we've been down for a few years. And I think it's an inspirational organization right now, and they know that we're behind them.
Yeah, good.
And that's important. But just like our community overall, like you said, you got some negatives, naysayers and stuff, but overall, it's unbelievable how we are doing. We just making a few adjustments to make sure we do things legal, and you mentioned the drug use. I was sitting in the parking lot watching drugs be exchanged, or colored pills. I was watching, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this and like, what is going on? And the fact is, I see a 40-something-year-old gentleman on a BMX bikes. I see this motorhome opens up, exchange cash for money, and I'm like, did I just see that?
Yeah.
15 minutes later, I went into business. 15 minutes later, I see the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So obviously the thing to do is call Rivercom. People get tired of hearing that, but you have to call Rivercom, so that way it's documented, so we can get more reinforcement out there. So I know people get tired. Well, I'm calling them every day. We'll keep calling them then.
Well, it's a challenge. I mean, people want the cops to do something before the crime is committed, and there's a little thing called the Constitution that kind of gets in the way. Okay, not only homelessness, but extra. I mean, there's a lot of apartment building going on. There's a lot of extra housing coming up. Yep. How is that going to affect us population-wise? And, what are you seeing with that?
Yeah, so, and maybe I'm going to jump kind of backwards a little bit to the schools. Mm-hmm. So the schools, as you know, had to do budget cuts. Well, what's going on is people are having less children. And it's designed like, I think our high school's about 20. Corey Kalahar, the school superintendent, is going to say, no, you're wrong, Mike. But I think the Wenatchee High School is like 2,200 maybe students right now. I'm not sure. And when I went to school, it was like 1,200, I think it was.
Yeah.
And when you went to school, there's 4, right? And
No, I was in New Jersey. No, there were 20 of us. I didn't go to school in Antioch. Not that there's anything wrong with Antioch.
So by time a first grader gets to the high school, it's going to be right about the 1,200 number. But Wenatchee is still growing. So that just tells you, we're still growing. We still have a need for housing, but it's not going to be. The schools are going to get slower and slower. And it wouldn't shock me if a middle school in 10 years from now has to get formed to do something else.
Well,
maybe.
I don't think the school district should get rid of Washington School. I mean, because that school is going to be needed in the future. Now, but then again, the school district isn't asking for my opinion. I gave it once and I was ignored.
Do I ever ask for your opinion?
No. No. But everybody's entitled to it.
In all seriousness, after today, you should email like cityclerk@wenatcheewa.gov or my personal work email is mike@wenatcheewa.gov. If you have concerns regarding homeless issues, things like that. I do respond. Sometimes it takes a while. We do have 35,000 people. Sure. And that's the other thing. You know what I like about being mayor? Sometimes I actually knock on people's doors.
Really?
And I walk in and I encourage people to go to, even though they're not agreeing with me, I encourage them to come to the city council meeting so the whole city council can hear that. And that's something that's been so great, because people respect me to do that. I won't go to everybody's door.
Right.
But the result is it's the same issue, and somebody's in the neighborhood and it's coming over and over and over. And I that's one of those things that I address, and it's a great way to get people participation. This is your community, so if you want to get involved, then get involved. You know, there's a lot of ways to get involved.
No, very true.
So reach out.
All right, so
Sorry.
one personal note, if you don't mind, if you will forgive me, okay?
Your jokes are bad. What else are we going to talk about?
No. The water bill.
Oh. Yes.
I almost came to a city council meeting.
Yeah.
Both my neighbors on both sides of my house and a couple others are not watering their lawn because it's expensive.
Yes.
I don't know what you can do about it.
Yes.
But
What we've done, I really believe in fairness, and the end result. Well, number one, if your income is a certain level, you can qualify for a discount. So that's number one. You call the city, we can get you connected with that, and I believe the PUD has a program for that also.
Yes, they do.
And so that's number one. So if it has to do with income and you qualify for less, you do get a reimbursement or a money back. About 2 years ago, we went through a phase, and we were trying to do it every 5 years. And what happened is we waited too long, and we have to do an adjustment. So we want people that actually, we got to have the money for that service.
Okay, all right. And I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, I got to cut you off.
Okay.
We've got to take one last break.
Yep.
We're going to come back, say goodbye to his honor, and thank him for being here. And I'll have you give your email address one more time.
And a better joke? No, it's just, I don't know why I'm teasing him. So I got to have fun at this too, right?
He's talking other stuff. You stick around. We will be right back. So.